Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Moletrap here, coming at you with another Starcraft 2 commentary, and this is going to be a game between evil geniuses Idra and Axslav, who has just relatively recently joined Team Infinity 7. That's what the IS stands for. It's a team, I guess, relatively new team. They formed a little over a year ago, but it's just been recently that they've started to pick up some players like Axslav and Crazy Moving, who was one of the sensations of Code A a few seasons ago, and did decently well at the MLG Winter Championship recently as well. Idra, of course, doesn't need as much of an introduction. He is on Evil Geniuses. I guess Evil Geniuses also doesn't need quite as much of an introduction. They just picked up Thorzane, actually, in case you guys are behind on the news for that. But yeah, I decided to just do a random game here. This game was highly rated on a replay site. I think it was part of a tournament because there was 2 games between these 2 players on the replay site, but I couldn't actually find out what tournament it was from, so I apologize for that. But anyway, hopefully it'll be a great game. It was highly rated on the replay site, so we'll go ahead and get into this. I know I haven't done one of these in a while. I've been pretty busy lately. I'm sure you've heard by now, I'm doing League of Legends commentaries as well for on GameNet, and I've been basically spending a lot of time just trying to get into that and make sure I could go full steam with League of Legends. But I'm just starting to get into a groove with that, and so I'm going to be doing a lot more StarCraft 2 here pretty soon, hopefully. So anyway, sorry for those of you that have been waiting for a while, but I will be doing things more regularly, although I'm actually going to be going on a trip back to the States for a few weeks between seasons, going on a little bit of a vacation. So I won't be doing too much for about basically the next month. I will be doing some stuff though. And oh, look at this! Axslav actually putting a pylon at both expansions. Idra has got to be upset about that. He's got nowhere to expand to. He's coming back here hoping the pylon was canceled, but it hasn't been canceled. He actually let it go up. So Idra is sitting around with 300 minerals in the bank that he wants to spend on a hatchery. Instead, he's spending it on, well, he's spending a little bit of it on Zerglings and a Queen, of course. Okay, he does actually cancel this one, and he was hoping to block with the probe to continue to stop that expansion from going up at this location. But it does go down, so that is good. And of course, back here at Axslav's base, he is going for a Forge expansion. It looks like he got the Nexus first, and has proceeded to get a wall going here on the bottom of his ramp, or above his second ramp, I should say. This is Ohana, and I haven't seen a ton of games on this map thus far, so I apologize if I don't know this map too particularly well, but I have seen it a little bit, so hopefully I'll be able to catch all the action wherever it goes. But anyway, so Idra is going ahead and expanding again. He's going to have those 2 expansions down, and pretty standard response here to the fast expansion with Forge for Protoss. I wanted to do this game, by the way. Like I said, I was just cruising around replay sites looking for something fun to do, and you know, this seemed like a pretty good. I knew both players decently well. Look at this; he's going to cancel that extra gateway. He had put it there to block just in case there was a Zergling attack. They couldn't run by, force their way past. And now he's going to cancel it and let his probe back in. Now they realizes that the danger is kind of gone, and you know, that probe was out there checking things out too. We're going to plant a core down instead, get his tech going nice and strong and fast. But anyway, so I saw this replay, and Axslav isn't quite as well known of a player as Idra is, but he's a really, really super smart player. I've actually had the pleasure of meeting him a couple times at various events in California, and so I really like him as a guy and as a player as well. He's pretty good. Hasn't got quite as many accomplishments as Idra, obviously, but he has played him in a few tournaments in the past, and he has taken games off him before, so I'm hoping that he can show us something good here today, and you know, get some wins here on the scoreboard against Idra in their career matchup. Probe is finally going to go down, but lots of scouting information is going to be achieved. He's been able to look around. He saw that extra expansion. He knows that's there. Very, very important to find out if they're going for a third base or if they're going for some kind of tech build. You know, like we used to see a lot of very fast 2-base infestor pushes where they just throw down a bunch of infested Terrans or something on those lines. So he just needs to know what's going on. He's going to go ahead and get his extra tech up pretty soon. Don't know what he's going to do just yet. Actually, Axslav with a lot of money in the bank here just gets a couple pylons down. I'm sorry about this. I'm actually going to get a new video card pretty soon. I'm hoping to get one before too long. I'm kind of, because I just bought the plane ticket to go back to the States, I don't have money for a video card at the moment, but soon I'm going to get a new video card, and it'll just stop those little glitchy moments that I get sometimes when I'm recording. It doesn't record too smoothly. In any case, there's the reason why he's got so much money in the bank. He's hoping to put down his third base, very, very fast third base here. He's going to actually put another wall off. And this is actually pretty cool because then he can just keep this as a straight wall. I think it's a straight wall. Actually, no, I saw a zealot walk through there earlier, so never mind. That's not a complete wall. But this, whoa, look at this wall. That is a beautiful wall right there. Man, I would have that as one of the sides of my house. That wall is fantastic wall. Unfortunately, though, these Zerglings are running in here, and he actually hasn't even knocked this down yet, these potential rocks, so he can't actually move his forces in here to reinforce this location. Second cannon is coming in, but there's a ton of Zerglings there. He's going to try and go in. The probe is not in a position to put any buildings away. A third cannon is there. It's going to warp in, maybe a little bit too late. The warp gate tech is finished. He's going to try and warp in some zealots down here, I think, to try to save this location. He gets a few zealots warped in right now. That would be perfect. The last cannon is going to die shortly after warping in. Now he's warping in some zealots, going to send it in, and he will lose the cannon, but we'll be able to clean up those Zerglings as a result. Actually warping in more sentries down here as well. Really going very sentry heavy here. And back at Idra's base, by the way, we do see that he has gone up to a lair finally after getting a whopping 72 drones. So he's basically fully saturated on all three bases at this point. In fact, he actually needs to make sure he gets his drones a little bit separated out more. Looks like he's got, well, let's check over here. Yeah, so not quite enough at this base. Compared to the others, well, let's see. Yeah, it's almost as many. He's only a few off, but regardless, he's basically pretty much fully saturated, essentially, basically. But yeah, Axslav is going to start to get really, really strong now. As you can see, he's got level 1 weapons going now as well as having several warp gates. Actually, let's go ahead and count those up. 5. Actually, only 5. Never mind. I thought he had more in his main. Okay, well, still, only 5 warp gates, but he's on 3 bases now. We're going to see that tech coming. Now, getting that Twilight Council, we're finally going to see some tech there. Would not be surprised to see him get some High Templar to mix into things. That would be a very good thing to supplement his army with eventually. Of course, depending on when he starts warping in, we'll be able to see what other tech he might go for. And he has hallucinated a Phoenix to run around and scout what Idra is up to. Very, very important thing to do. He does have that lair, but we haven't seen him really get any particular lair tech thus far. And okay, never mind. There we go. There's the infestation pit. For some reason I didn't spot it up here. There it is. It was hiding. It was burrowed. Burrowed in the production tab. Here comes a lot of Zerglings, but they are not going to be able to deal with this wall right now. And if they did get in here, this substantial army would be able to go down there and help defend. Lots of force fields available to Axslav right now. So he's going to have a strong tactical advantage in any fight at the moment. Of course, Idra is going ahead and getting the Ventral Sack so he can actually have his units inside of his overlords. And we already said him get the Baneling Nest. He's now getting a lot of Banelings as well. So that's going to give him an advantage back where Axslav will be able to just put down a lot of force fields, and Idra will then try to float his Banelings over the top of those force fields and just land them all over the Stalkers and what have you on the other side. And of course, landing Banelings in amongst the sentries would be devastating as well. He is getting a lot of Stalkers now. That's what I was going to say is we'll be able to tell what research he's probably going to go for by what he starts warping in, but he actually started the Blink research before starting to get a lot of Stalkers in preparation there for that. He is getting the Sidestorm upgrade as well, so he's going to be pretty scary here. There's kind of a moment where Idra's going to have the upper hand. He's going to have a lot of Infestors. He's going to have the Hive almost done, although the Hive actually won't help him immediately, of course, once that Hive finishes. But anyway, Idra's going to have a little bit of an advantage. He's going to have these Overlords filled with Banelings, and oh, he might actually just go for a Pro Baneling drop. That's what he's going to do. Is Axslav going to notice in time? The Zerglings are actually going to run in first. He's going to bunch up his probes. He's running away with the probes. The Banelings are actually there in those overlords just to kind of chill. And High Templar coming in. Oh no, a little bit of a miss rally. They were coming in from the wrong side. Perhaps he meant to go in from the other way. And his whole army is out in the middle of the field here. He's just depending on his wall to defend while going for this fourth base of Idra with his army. Can he take that out? If Idra just engages with what he has now, he'll be in pretty good shape. I like the hallucinated Colossus mixed in there just to kind of scare Idra, make him think maybe he has to get some Corruptors. Second Spire is on the way right now, in addition to the Greater Spire, so he'll be able to get a lot of Spire upgrades. And now the Spine Crawlers are going down at this base. I think Axslav kind of missing his opportunity to do damage if he wanted to. Oh no, but here comes about a lot of Zerglings coming in. A few Zealots get picked off, but that Infestor's going to go down very quickly. The Stalkers actually blinking forward are not able to blink back for a moment. And oh no, Banelings rolling in from the Overlords from behind. Absolutely slaughter all the sentries. No! The sentries had been abandoned by the Stalkers who had blinked forward to take out the Zerglings and got completely obliterated. Absolutely obliterated. That is not good at all. This cheeky Overlord back here is spotting the Stargate going up in the background for Axslav. So if we look at the supplies now, Idra has been able to get almost maxed in very quickly after losing just a few Zerglings. And Axslav, on the other hand, though, is way behind. He's not out of this yet, though. He still has these 3 bases. It's going to be really hard for Idra to counterattack, and some pressure is still being put on. He's warped in a lot of Zealots, and we saw Idra had primarily Zerglings before. Yeah, look at that. 106 drones. Jesus, 108 drones. He's adding more drones. He's just returned some of the Spine Crawlers. But 86 Zerglings and a handful of Infestors. He actually made Corruptors as well in response to seeing that one Colossus, which is, those Corruptors aren't going to do much good. Never mind. Actually, I forgot about the Greater Spire finishing. He's going to make some Broodlords, which are going to do a lot of good. But for the moment, just a lot of Zerglings is not going to fare very well against this Zealot heavy armor. So Zealot heavy army. So nice work with Axslav to go ahead and pressure him there, despite the fact that he is a little bit behind. He's going to try and take this 4th base over here, which is very, very wide open. It's going to be extremely difficult to defend. He's not going to be able to set up a wall, a nice wall like this, very easily. And this is a pretty open area as well, but he kind of had, was able to do it slowly down from the ramp there. In any case, Axslav trying to build up another army. He's actually gotten back up to 170 supply already. He's now actually starting to produce Colossus. Oh, picks off one Broodlord. Here come the Infestors. He's going to try and pick off the... Oh, massive Psystorms! Slaughter! Absolutely slaughter the Zerglings. Are the Stalkers and Zealots going to have enough hit points left after the fungal growth to do any damage, though? It looks like they are going to get picked off. Does not want to engage those Infestors. Just a few more fungals could... Whoa, sorry about that. Mouse got out of control. Could pretty much own the remains of these no-shield Zealots, although he's warped into more units. He actually could take those Infestors in a fight alone, but maybe not with those Broodlords there. He'd lost some Stalkers. Yeah, only has a handful of Stalkers, and of course the single solitary Archon there as well. It's an Instructor. It goes to the Archon, the Protoss school, and instructs little Zealots on how to give their lives for ire. And what was that? That's a fleet beacon, and that's a mothership, ladies and gentlemen. Being produced at the main nexus of Axslav. Uh-oh, a little bit of fight going on here. The Broodlord's engaging on those Zealots. Zealots, of course, going to do okay against the Broodlings, but he's using basically ammunition in exchange for units. The Broodlord's having infinite ammunition. Oh no, he's fighting the Broodlings. He needs to actually target the Broodlords there. These weakened Zealots do get caught by some Zerglings, and the Broodlords are going to reign supreme right now. What is Axslav going to do? The Broodlings will not survive long on contact with that Colossus there, but he can't really afford to engage too well. He blinks in. Is he going to take out? He takes out one Broodlord. Oh no, but he goes after the Stalkers. The Stalkers get slaughtered. Loses a lot of Zerglings in the process, though, due to that Colossus and those Zealots. Can he get anything here enough to deal with these Broodlords? He's got 7 Broodlords now. He's going to blink in some Stalkers, take out one more. He's going to get a 3rd as well. No, just barely not able to. Yes, a few more Stalkers warped in are able to take those out, but he really needs some air units here. The Colossus under attack from Broodlings and Axslav. GG's. Oh, too bad. We were moments from having that mothership warp in, but Axslav knew he was too far behind him. You look at the supply count up here. It just way, way, way far behind, and he just knew that he didn't have anything to defeat these Broodlords. He wanted to warp in Stalkers, but all these Zerglings, and, well, actually, I just clicked on the Broodlings. A ton of them, too. Too much for him to deal with, so GG, well played by Idra. Nicely played as well by Axslav. I like the idea that he was going for here. He was able to get a very, very quick third on this map, and I really, really like how he did that. Very, very few units, you know, in his base. He was just kind of playing defensively. Usually if the Zerg gets a third base, the Protoss needs to put some pressure on, but he said, yeah, you know what, I'm just going to get a third too, and I'm going to pressure your fourth instead while I have a lot better economy. Not necessarily better economy than Idra, but a lot better economy than would have off two. Idra having at the end of the game there only 92 harvesters. He was up to almost 110 at one point. Absolutely disgusting. But I guess when he mined out his main, he started using that for random spine colors in the middle of the map to have a defensive position there. So anyway, so well played by Axslav, but GG goes to Idra. Nicely done, and hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.